Very often I hear this a lot from my clients and from people generally, which is, how can I have a more purposeful, intentional life? How can I live a life that matters to me more like? And let's embark on a journey to understand something fundamental about ourselves. And for this, just imagine that imagine your life as a compass, only that instead of pointing north, it points to what matters most to you. These are your values, and understanding them is the first step to living a more intentional life. As values are the conclusions we draw from our experiences about what's truly important. In other words, if you want to understand what's driving you in life, in any situation or regarding anything, you can ask yourself, what is important about this to me? Or what's most important to me right now in what I'm doing? Therein lies your values, because they are very personal to you. And if you think about it, they are your own generalizations about what matters in your life. In other words, values are not passive because they are actively shaping your life. Think about that. And you see, our values are not one size fits all at all. Just like in a garden, there are different types of plants. Your life has different areas with unique needs. So you have different values for different aspects of your life. Think about it. You might value, let's say, creativity in your personal life. And in your career, you value stability. So if it looks like the career is not stable, you find yourself unhappy. And maybe in your relationship, you value connection. Okay? So these values aren't just nice ideas. They are really the engine behind everything you do. Every goal you set, whether it's learning a new skill or building stronger relationships, it all comes from trying to live out your values. They are your internal motivation system, if you would. So if you are wondering why you're not feeling settled in a situation or in a place or with someone, something seems to be off, chances are there's a core value of yours that's been not met in that moment. In other words, that's been violated. So when you face challenges, it's your values that guide your decisions and your actions. They help you navigate through any uncertainty, and they keep you more like aligned with what truly matters. Okay, so for example, if you value honesty, if that's a core value of yours, you find yourself striving to be truthful even when it's difficult. And if for any reason you have to be dishonest or not abide by the truth, you will feel very, very unsettled about that. If you value growth, you find yourself constantly seeking out new opportunities and embracing change very easily. Okay? If someone values stability, as I started before, quick change might be very, very, very disturbing to them. So recognizing and honoring your values can lead to a much more fulfilling and purposeful life. When your actions align with your values, you experience a real sense of harmony and authenticity. On the other hand, conversely, when there's a disconnect, you will feel uneasy and dissatisfied. So you probably now can see where that inner dissatisfaction and unease you feel about certain things or places of people might be coming from. So understanding your values is not just an important aspect of things to pay attention to. It's also a continuous journey. And this is because as you grow and as you evolve, your values may shift. They may change. They may lead to new priorities, newer perspectives. So what once meant something extremely important to you might no longer be the case. So it calls for regularly reflecting on your values and assessing how well your life still aligns with them. That exercise can be a very powerful practice, I find. And that's because it can actually help you make much more intentional choices. It can help you set much more meaningful goals and ultimately lead to a life that feels true to who you are. That authentic life. So now let's talk about qualities. They are how we see ourselves. The quality of a thing is really whatever attributes or characteristics that describe that thing. Okay. And in the case of we as human beings, it will be your self-image that is built from your experiences. In other words, your qualities come from what you've experienced before. When people say, I am kind or I am determined, they are talking about their qualities. In Descartes' words, qualities are generalizations of who you are based on your experiences. In other words, your qualities will come from where you've been, what you've experienced, what you know, what the situation was, what you did in that, what worked, what didn't work, and so on. Okay. They're a reflection of who you are when you look at yourself. But unlike a mirror's simple reflection, qualities are built from your experiences and actions. So when someone is saying, I'm resilient, they are not just describing a trait, they are sharing a story of overcoming challenges. So here's where it all connects. People often want to have more self esteem. Well, self esteem comes from a simple match between your qualities and your values. In other words, do your qualities align with your values? For example, if I have a value of honesty, so I value honesty, well, am I honest? Do I live truthfully? When the answer is yes, your self esteem grows. When the answer is no, you will feel inauthentic and self esteem will shrink, as it were. So self esteem isn't just uh, feeling good about yourself, it's the harmony between your values and your qualities, the harmony between what's most important to you and how you describe yourself. So when you can describe yourself in the way that's important to you, because that's truly what you see in your experience, you will have self esteem. Okay, so think of it as a personal integrity check. If you value courage, do you face your fears? And so on, right? If you value, let's say, curiosity, do you ask open questions? Do you face situations without judgment? Okay? If you value connection, do you nurture things that create and enhance connection, like active listening, good communication, validation, empathy, and so on? So for each yes you get, it strengthens your self-esteem, just like a bridge that is becoming more and more stable with each supporting beam. Think about it like this. Imagine building a tower. Your values form the foundation. So the foundation of that tower will be the values. They need to be solid and true. Then your qualities are those blocks that are carefully placed, each one representing who you truly are becoming. And then your self esteem is how confidently that tower stands. So the better the blocks align, the stronger it stands. In other words, when your qualities align with your values, the structure becomes unshakable. And this is where purpose then arises from. If you're wanting a purposeful life, now you have it. So, purpose isn't just about what you do. Many people often, and me included sometimes, we've often mistaken purpose to mean roles. So, like being a parent, being a teacher, or an artist, those things can feel purposeful, and it is. But here's the twist: roles can change. So, if your purpose is all about being a parent, for instance, what happens when your children grow? If it's all about your career, what happens when the careers shift? So, true purpose comes from something deeper. When you live a life that's aligned with your highest values. You discover a purpose that transcends any role whatsoever. It's not just what you do, it's more like expressing who you truly are, and it exudes in anything you do. That's why it can never, ever, 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 ever be taken from you. It's not about what you do, it's about who you truly, really are. It runs deep, really, really, really deep. Okay, so if you think about a thread, a golden thread that connects your values, your qualities, and your actions, that is purpose. So, to finish off, really, understanding your values isn't merely self reflection, it's your compass for authentic living, your foundation for genuine self esteem, and your path to lasting purpose. So, take a moment today to ask yourself, what matters most to me? And am I living it? The more honest you are with yourself with this conversation, the more you find your purpose.